Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from the Meadowlands Racetrack here on Saturday evening. It is September the 29th, 2018. I'm going to look at all the races on tonight's program for the Meadowlands, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Hopefully the Meadowlands runs tonight. Friday we had Thursday and the Friday we had a shit ton of rain, which caused a cancellation yesterday. It's been pretty dry the last 24 hours, I want to say. So hopefully we can maybe get on the turf course, but you're not going to see firm. We have a better chance of a lot of things happening except a firm turf course. Just keep that in mind. But it's going to be a soft ground, so let's get on to it. We're going to look at 6 races, starting off with the opener here on closing night of the Thoroughbred meeting. The first race, it's a claiming race, purse $13,000. Races for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Number one, 10,000, which never won a race since March 29th, or which never won 3 races here. Claim price 5,000. What the hell did I get 10,000 from? But pardon me, it's early in the morning. Field of 9 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,000 meters, with the distance of ground of 5 furlongs on the Meadowlands lawn, the turf course. Rails are down tonight, so just keep that in mind. 1,000 meters, 5 furlongs. Top selection in the opener, I'm going to go to the number 3 horse, My Good Venezuela. I'm going to go 3715 in the superfecta, 3715 super. Top selection of 3 horse, My Venezuela. 5-year-old mare by Wildcat Hare. And Evan Mangley gets the leg up for Kathleen Damasi. The horse's most recent outing came the 20th of September at Delaware, about 5 furlongs on the lawn and a claiming 8. The horse finished third by 6 1/4 lengths there. He had a little bit of a turn of foot, but it was the horse's first off a little bit of a break, so maybe he need the race. I think coming here to the Meadowlands, a lesser quality horses, you like to give in the ground, and I think he'll run well. Before that, at Monmouth, 5 furlongs, August 3rd off the break and a claiming 12.50. The horse finished third by 1/4 lengths. Again, he had a little bit of a turn of foot, but first off the break, he probably needed the race there again. And then before that, at the Meadowlands, 14th of October of last year, mile 16th and claiming 10. He loved every bit of it. Great ride by Rajiv Marag. Horse won by 2 lengths, sat back early, but got the lead, and then he took off. Very good victory there. And then before that, a few weeks earlier at Belmont, 1 mile and claiming 25,000. Horse finished 6th. Couldn't keep up with those horses, but he does his better racing against the lower end. He's faced the lower end again, second off the break sprinting. Watch out for him to run a big one. So to recap my selection for the opener from the Meadowlands, gonna go with the 3 horse, My Good Venezuela. Gonna go 3715 in the superfecta. To race number 2 from the Meadowlands, it's a maiden race, going for a purse of $11,500. Races for maidens, 3-year-olds and upwards, going for a claiming price of 10 grand. Field of 9 horses going to the post. The distance of ground here of 1,600 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile on the Meadowlands lawn, the turf course. 1,600, 1 mile. And I show the diagram. It just gives me a second to look down my notes. Just bear with me. Top selection here. I like the number 1 horse, Space Captain. Gonna go 1485 in the superfecta. 1485 super. Top selection of 1 horse, Space Captain. 3-0 given by Street Sense. Luis Reyes is on this one for Michelle Nevin. The horse's most recent outing came the 7th of August at Parks. 1 mile off the turf and a maiden 20. The horse finished 4th by 8 3/4 lengths there. He dueled early on, but then just hit the wall completely. Couldn't keep up with them. It wasn't the day to win. I think it stepped down in class back to turf. Horse should really do well. Before that, in maiden 40 at Belmont, yielding turf course, mile 16, July 15th. Horse finished 10th by 36.5 lengths. Really went fast early on, but then hit the wall. Couldn't keep up with the better horses there in New York. And then before that, at Belmont, 1 mile in the wider and maiden 40. Horse finished 8th by 10.5 lengths. He was very wide that day, which cost him a victory. He sat a little bit mid-pack, but then just hit the wall. He has speed from the inside today, and if he could get away with it, I think he could really run a big one, because he has run some decent races, but, they're few and far between. Like a race on the 19th of February at Gulfstream, he ran really well on a maiden 50,000. He finished 4th by 8 lengths, but he showed some decent heart there. And then after that at Gulfstream, in a maiden claiming 35, he finished 5th. He set the pace early on, and then he kind of, went a little erratic in the straightaway, which cost him. But he ran decently there. I like him a lot here today. 7-2, not the best price, but I'll, take him as a top selection. So to recap my selection for the second from the Big M, I'm gonna go with the 1 horse, Space Captain. I'm gonna go 1485 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 3. Race number 3 from the Meadowlands. It's a claiming race going for a purse of $12,500. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Number 1, 2 races here. Field of 12 horses going the distance of ground of 1,000 meters with the distance of ground of 5 furlongs on the turf course. 1,000 meters, 5 furlongs turf. Top selection here. I like the number 6 horse. The 6 horse Mickey T. Gonna go 6-2-8-11 in the superfecta. 6-2-8-11 super. Top selection, the 6 horse Mickey T. 3-year-old colt by Courageous Cat. Joey Martinez gets the leg up for Edward Baker. The horse's most recent outing came the 15th of September here at the Meadowlands. 5 furlongs, good ground, and claiming 75,000, or excuse me, 7,500, not 1,000. Horse finished third by 1/4 lengths there, and from the back of the pack, he really closed up well. The 15th was the opening night, and the closers were really doing well that afternoon when the rails were out. This horse ran really well there off the break. Before that, 29th of June, at Belmont, 6 furlongs, claiming 40,000. The horse finished 6 by 11 1/4 lengths, was very wide, and he just never got into it. And then again at Belmont, 6 furlongs on the inner turf course and maiden 40. The horse broke the maiden finally by a half length. It was very wide, but he got there just in time. That was a great ride by the veteran Pablo Fregoso. He started once here at the Meadowlands last week where he got a good 3rd place finish. Before that, he started some really nice races in New York and some tougher horses. But I think coming here to the Meadowlands again, if he can get a good closing trip, I could guess this horse will win. Can't speak, pardon me. 4-1, take him as top selection. So to recap my selection for the 3rd from the Big M, gonna go with the 6 horse Mickey T. Gonna go 6-2-8-11 in the superfecta. So now let's get on. Race number 4 from the Meadowlands. It's a starter allowance race per $16,500. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Never started for a claim price of $12.50 or less in 2017 or 18. Field of 8 horses going to the post. The distance of ground here of 1,700 meters with a distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf course. 1,700, 1 mile and 1/16. Top selection here. I like the number 5 horse here, Montclair. Gonna go 5-1-7-4 in the superfecta. 5-1-7-4 super. Top selection, the 5 horse Montclair, 8-year-old gelded by Montague. Hector Diaz Jr. gets the leg up for Jason Service. Before I get onto this horse, this race was actually originally scheduled for a mile 3/8, but they had an optional distance of a mile 16. So running at a mile 16, even though I would really love to see this race run at a mile 3/8 on the turf course. The last time they actually ran, looking up some distance history, the last time they actually ran a mile 3/8 on the turf course was 2009, so we're going to have to wait at least 10 years for the next mile 3/8 race, hopefully next year, because there's writing on the wall that there might be a full thoroughbred meet here at the Meadowlands next fall if the people who run Monmouth get their wish and Jeff Guerrero will finally budge. Hopefully he'll budge, because hopefully very soon they'll be getting the money from the state of New Jersey again for the purse revenue kind of thing, what the money they're going to get from the casinos again. So hopefully next year they'll make the racing in Jersey a little bit better than it has been in the last few years, and hopefully they'll take out some of the bad horsemen, shall we say. I'm just going to leave it at that. You know what I mean. Yeah, I know. But my top selection, the 5 horse Montclair, Jason Service trains. Hector, like I said, Hector Diaz gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came the 18th of August at Monmouth, mile and 1/8 and a handicap. The horse won by 3 3/4 lengths there. He sat back early on, basically last, but he had a very good turn of foot. He got there and he had a really good run for this horse. Before that at Monmouth, mile 16th and a handicap for 16,000. Horse won by 1.5 lengths, and again, very wide, but he got there in time. A very good ride by Paco Lopez that day, who is usually, when I think Paco Lopez, I think of a very aggressive rider, not a rider that comes from behind. He came from behind those last 2, or actually last 3. He won the race before that at Monmouth, 9th of June, mile and 1/8 and an optional 30 claimer. Horse won by head. That day he stalked from a little bit behind, but then he got a great turn of foot and he got there. That Monmouth, June 9th race at Monmouth was a very tough race. Something I've noticed, before Haskell Day, the races at Monmouth were very tough. Post Haskell Day, they were, all the favorites were winning, and, they weren't very competitive races. But so if you see that, post Monmouth, like I said, post Haskell, crappy races, pre Haskell. Really competitive races. So if he held his own out before the Haskell, he really did well. Looking over his form, he's run really well in a lot of spots, except his one start here at the Meadowlands, where he finished fifth last October, where he had a horrible, horrible trip because he broke shit. He stumbled, went wide, and he just never got into it. If he breaks okay today, I think he get a good trip. 4 to 5 ship price, but he's a single in the multi-race. Today there's a guarantee payout of all the multi-race wagers, pick 5, pick 6, so make sure you play it, and I would single this horse. But to recap my selections for the 4th of Meadowlands, gonna go with the 5 horse Montclair. I'm gonna go 5-1-7-4 in the superfecta. So now let's get on to race number 5. Race number 5 from the Meadowlands. It's an allowance race, purse $28,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Never won a race in 2018. Field of 8 horses going to the post. The distance of ground here of 1,000 meters, or the distance of ground of 5 furlongs on the Meadowlands turf course. 1,000 meters, 5 furlongs. My top selection here, I like the number 4 horse Bold Thunder. Gonna go 4-5-3-8 in the superfecta. 4-5-3-8 super. Top selection of 4 horse Bold Thunder. 8-year-old horse by Bold and Flashy. And Manuel Esquivel is on this one. The horse's most recent out came the 31st of August at Saratoga. 5.5 furlongs on the Melon in the Lucky Quain Stakes. The horse finished 7th by 10.5 lengths there. Didn't break all that well. Was wide and he just never got into it. It wasn't the day to win. Before that, 29th of July at Monmouth. 5.5 in the Wolf Hill Stakes. Horse finished 11th by 9.25 lengths, and again, he didn't break all that well, steadied a few times, and he just couldn't keep up with the better horses there. And then the grade 3 Parks Dash at Parks, 5 furlongs July 7th. Horse finished 4th by 9.25 lengths. He was very wide, which cost him a little bit of a pennant position. He hasn't won since the 3rd of June of 2017. That came at Penn Nat, 5 furlongs in the Pennsylvania Governor's Cup. He won that race by a head at 24-1 on lead all throughout. A very good driving away victory. But since then, he's run not so good races, a few good ones, but then a lot of shitty races. But he's the fastest horse, I think, and if I think he could wire the field here at 5-2. Share price, I know, but I'm going to take him as a top selection. Another single in the multi-race I would do. So to recap my selections for the 5th from the Meadowlands, going to go with the 4 horse Bold Thunder. Going to go 4-5-3-8 in the superfecta. Let's get the meat finale from the Meadowlands, the 6th race. It's a claiming race, going for a purse of $14,000. This race is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Never won through races here. Going for a claim price of $16,000. Field of 8 horses, going the distance of ground here of 1,600 meters, with the distance of ground of 1 mile on the turf course. 1,600 meters, 1 mile. My top selection here, I'm going to go to the 8 horse Amelina's Hope. I'm going to go 8-2-4-3 in the superfecta. 8-2-4-3 super. Top selection 8 horse Amelina's Hope. 4-year-old filly by Here Comes Ben. Luis Rodriguez is on this one. The horse's most recent outing came the 16th of September at Suffolk. About a mile 70 yards and a claiming 10. The horse finished second by 3.25 lengths there. He sat back early but had a really good turn of foot at the end. It was an improvement off his race before. He ran well there. Before that, here in over at Monmouth, mile in the 8th and a claiming, optional 20 claimer. Horse finished 7th by 13.25 lengths, and he just had nothing. Couldn't keep up with better horses. It wasn't the day to win. And then the 5th of August, back up at Suffolk, mile 70 on the turf and a claiming 10. Horse won by 4.75 lengths. He got claimed out of that race from the old trainer David Donk to the new trainer Michael Arrow, but he won at Suffolk by 4.75 lengths. Very wide, but he took away easy victory at the end. Who cares if he was wide, because he still won for fun. And then again, before that, Suffolk, mile 70 and claiming 12.50. Horse finished 6th by 8 lengths. Very wide that day, which cost him, because he was wider than he was next start out. But, he faced a lot tougher horses in Jersey and stuff. These were, over in New York. These Jersey horses aren't nearly as tough, and I think here at 3-1. He should run well, so I'll take him as a top selection. So to recap my selections for the 6th from the Meadowlands, gonna go with the 8 horse Amelina's Hope, gonna go 8-2-4-3 in the superfecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.